defined as a shared set of meanings and symbols within mainstream culture. It is about the current trends and therefore changes constantly.
One aspect of popular culture is television. Within TV, we will be looking at female characters within fictional TV.
Fictional television, as opposed to reality television, is scripted and not real. Within the television realm, most fictional TV can be put under the genre of drama.
When talking about popular TV, Helen Ingham explains that we can see different roles that women are shown to fill, and in some aspects they are representative. There are domestic women, career women, single mothers, beautiful women, etc.
To create interest in a show and to continue to hold the audience's interest, the characters of these shows cannot remain static.
Again, Helen Ingham says, while television can be said to reflect the changing roles of women, it seems to portray them in a light of approval or disapproval, positive or negative.
We've taken this idea of the way TV portrays women and expanded it.
You can place a female character in any of the following 4 categories: nice and empowered, weak and on the rise to power, weak and content, powerful and bitchy.
What is success? Success is different to each person. It could mean happiness or having good fortune. It can be defined as having the desired outcome in an event, situation, or life. For a lot of these women in fictional TV, success means having a house, a good job, a companion, possibly a child, being fortunate and happy with where they stand in life.
Nice and empowered. These successful and empowered women are all over the TV shows, usually playing the protagonist. Women like Nikita and Alex from Nikita, Sydney from Alias, Amy from Judging Amy, Dr. Bailey from Grey's Anatomy, Alison Montgomery from Private Practice, Rory from Gilmore Girls, and Vanessa and Savannah from Hellcats all fall into this category. They have stable jobs and are fairly high up on the chain of command within their jobs. They all have appropriate housing and are all generally pleasant people. Most of them have companions. Either they're married, they're dating, or they're looking for someone. Here I disagree with Helen Ingham. She says that women being in positions of power are unnatural, and that it's men who are the most powerful, so having a male working for a female is made an issue of because it goes against the grain. Women in positions of power are becoming more and more popular in today's TV.
In addition to these successful everyday women, there are empowered women in action dramas or supernatural women. These women deal with the strife of everyday life, their successful jobs, houses, children, and companions, and on top of their hectic lives, also deal with saving the world factor.
In Medium, the protagonist Alison Dubois has a hectic household with a husband and 3 daughters, a successful job in the district attorney's office, and on top of that, she has a gift of visions and the ability to talk with the dead that help her solve criminal cases with law enforcement agencies, making her role super.
Hey, what is that all the noise about? Why isn't anybody eating? Why is all this laundry still not folded? And Bridget, why are your books not in your bag?
Similarly, Melinda Gordon, the protagonist of Ghost Whisperer, deals with her life, a husband and later a child, a house, and owning her own antique shop in the town square, along with other supernatural problems.
My name is Melinda Gordon. I'm married. I live in a small town, and I own an antique shop. I might be just like you, except that from the time I was a little girl, I knew that I could talk to the dead.
It's all right, honey.
Earthbound spirits, my grandmother called them. They're stuck here because they have unfinished business with the living, and they come to me for help.
Before female characters were holding jobs of power, women in the business sector were high up on the chain of command. Oliver Stone recognizes the importance of having women in powerful positions, because they reflect life. If it were all men, perspectives would be skewed. It's a need for the balance in order to be truthful to the world.
Other supernatural action-packed superwomen include Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Halliwell sisters, Piper, Paige, Prue, and Phoebe from the show Charmed, and Xena from Xena the Warrior Princess. According to Susan Douglas, these women all have to deal with the feigning task of saving or helping the world. But on top of that, they have to deal with their everyday feminine strife.
I had a nice normal life once, and you took that from me. You took my boyfriend, you took my life. The least you could do is leave me my freaking car keys.
Weak and on the rise. One of the types of women represented in television drama is women who are weak and on the rise to power. Being weak and rising to power means that the character will soon face challenges to overcome in order to become powerful. The character's journey usually begins with some vulnerability in any part of their lives. The vulnerability is masked, though, by the character's ambitions, and through their determination and their perseverance, they can become powerful. In the case of Betty Suarez from the television show Ugly Betty, Betty begins her journey at a fashion magazine, Mode. She's seen by the rest of the company as having no fashion sense, and so she's made fun of by almost all her coworkers and superiors. Long story short, through the years, she gains a little bit of fashion sense, yet stays true to herself and works her way up the corporate ladder through determination and perseverance.
Are you delivering something? Oh, no. I work here.
Another example is the character Erica from Canadian television series Being Erica. Erica starts a new career at a publishing company where she's faced with a rude boss. Like Betty, she learns the ways of the company and slowly works her way up the ladder of power. The entire TV show is based off of Erica's vulnerability as it explores a new form of therapy. Erica gets to literally relive and correct her regrets, and so the audience can follow her on her road to self-discovery. A lot of television series are based upon this type of character. Other characters include Deborah Morgan from Dexter and Nancy Botwin from Weeds. These girls are also perceived as nice characters.
Weak and happy. There are also female characters that play the part of the weak yet traditional role, but seem to be content in their position. We call these the weak and happy women. It's important to note that the term weak shouldn't be interpreted negatively, but rather represents a type of woman that isn't in any particular position of power. These weak yet happy women usually act as secondary characters in their television shows because of their static states. The show How I Met Your Mother has a secondary female character by the name of Lily Aldrin. Lily is satisfied with her life as an elementary school teacher. Her husband is a lawyer for a big corporation, and she seems to enjoy being taken care of by her husband. Lily does not need anything else in her life. She is content with her position and doesn't care to move up on the ladder of success. Based on the viewer's perception, these women appear to be happy with where they are in their lives. Because they're not primary characters, we don't get to see the character's ambition in depth, so we can only assume that they are content.
Bitchy and powerful. Bitchy and powerful characters seem to be taking up a lot of time lately on our television screens. One example of a bitchy and powerful character is Wilhelmina Slater from the show Ugly Betty. She not only intimidates people with the seniority and power that comes with her job, but her overall demeanor scares people as well. Helen Ingham agrees that we see women in a position of power more regularly, although these characters tend to be invariably aggressive and are often portrayed as the villainess, a woman who turns her traditional feminine characteristics into a source of strength. The power-tripping characters like Wilhelmina are usually put into a show to make the protagonist's life harder.
What? You. Are those gladiator sandals?
Are we in ancient Rome? Will you be wrestling a lion? Take those off. Burn these. You are fired.
Just like the powerful catty girl Alice from Hellcats, who continually tries to make the life of the main character Marty, the newest cheerleader, harder. But there are some exceptions to this rule, with protagonists as the catty character like Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl, and Naomi Clark from 90210.
Blair and Naomi are both high school teenage girls, both from wealthy but broken homes, and both lack parental guidance. These two characters enjoy controlling and manipulating everything within their reach, all for the feeling of a social queen.
Enter fantasies of power in the form of scheming, platinum blonde, power-hungry sex machine. It was all about sex and female power in the workplace and the bedroom.
These girls have the ability to be nice, but the power and attention that they have usually gets the worst of them. There is no television drama with one primary character that is a powerful bitch. There is always other primary characters in order to balance out the good and evil, so to say. Susan Douglas says, "Woman could not have it all. It was almost as if success and bitch went together. If you had the former, you would automatically become the latter."
Haven't you heard? I'm the crazy bitch around here. Have fun in reform school.
So today we've told you that there are 4 types of women in television drama in today's TV world. There's the nice and empowered woman and the supernatural woman. These women are successful and pleasant, and in the case of supernatural women, have extra responsibilities like saving the world that make their ordinary life different from everyday women.
There are the weak women who are on the rise to power. These women are very nice and are usually shown as vulnerable. In the TV series, we follow their lives journey from weak to empowered.
There's the weak and happy woman. They're secondary characters that remain static. These women are happy with their lives the way they are.
Then there's the catty and powerful women. These women are intimidating and cold because of their position of power. They're usually in the show to make the life of the main character difficult in some way, although sometimes they're one of several protagonists.
It is important to remember that these characters are not stuck in one specific category. They can move in and out of any category based on some kind of change in their life. While they don't always stay in the same category, they're always in one of the 4 categories we've mentioned.
Another thought is that all of these women in popular television are all very beautified. Again, Susan Douglas emphasizes this point. She says, whatever the plot lines, these young women were first and foremost sexual objects on display.
The tables have turned these days in respect to women in television. Susan Douglas explains in her book that in the older days of Hollywood films and TV shows, women were primarily to be looked at, while men, through their actions, advanced the narrative. Clearly, now women have their own TV shows, and even have certain channels dedicated to women's entertainment, like the W Network, Cosmo, and Slice.
Although, perception is subjective, so how I view a character may not necessarily be how you view a character.
Women can be inspired by the determination and perseverance of these female television characters.
Some television characters in fictional TV have paved the road in women's minds that they can be anyone and do anything, even if it seems out of their reach.